Good evening, everyone. Thank you and welcome for being here. So happy that you're here joining us, spending a little bit of your time with us this evening. My name is Sonia Magruder. I've been with this company, Purium, that you're going to learn about tonight for almost 14 years. And it's been incredible in so many ways for my husband and I, literally life-changing for our health as well as for our quality of life, time freedom, and financial freedom. So today we're going to talk about this company that really is helping people with a whole life transformation. It's been around over 20 years, and you're going to learn about the founders, who they are. When you get involved with something, you want to know who's behind it, right? So who they are, learn about the products, the foods that they're making and their stringent procedures and how they manufacture so that you get the highest quality foods delivered to you. And best of all, you're going to hear real life success stories from people from all different walks of life and how one of those could be you, how this could be life changing for you. So let's get going. So first of all, I think we all know someone, unfortunately, who has had a lifestyle disease or a serious disease, cancer, diabetes, hypertension, heart disease, so many things. And unfortunately, there's so many that we know that are in this situation. A lot of that is happening, contributory factor that's causing this is what we're being bombarded with. Not only are we bombarded with toxins on the daily, but also the foods that people are eating. And these foods, many of them that are ultra processed, are made in a lab, like you see in the picture here. They're made in a lab to become addictive, and it's all about profit. The problem is that this does lead to compromises of convenience. People have busy lifestyles, and these busy lifestyles are enabling these poor choices. These foods are calorically dense, but basically devoid of nutrition. And they have so many ingredients that are unhealthy on top of that. So again, the problem that it's leading to and that these are linked to is these lifestyle diseases, leaky gut, diabetes, cardiovascular disease, hypertension. These are all things that are a result of poor lifestyle choices and can often be reversed or prevented or avoided. One of the issues is glyphosate. Is a well-known, very toxic chemical. It's an herbicide. It's the main ingredient in Roundup weed killer. And we've all heard of that, right? It's everywhere. Every weed killer has this ingredient now. Glyphosate is linked to so many serious diseases, not just leaky gut, not just even non-Hodgkin's lymphoma, but now a new study came out last year that shows it's linked to many different types of cancers. And why do we need to know this? Well, because we're all exposed to it. Unfortunately, it is insidious. It's impossible to avoid. It's in the foods that we eat. It's now even been found in some certified organic foods. Unfortunately, that's hard to believe, but part of the reason is because it's so widespread, it's in the rainfall now. So we can't avoid it. And it's very crucial to know about this because it affects our gut health. Why is that so important? Well, 70% of our immune system is in our gut. 90 to 95% of serotonin, which is the hormone or neurotransmitter that makes us feel good, is made in the gut. So when our gut microbiome is disrupted, for example, from something like glyphosate, we can really be crucially damaged by, our health can be damaged by this. And glyphosate, just a couple fun facts. Not really fun, sad facts, but originally it was patented as a mineral descaler. So think about that. It's sprayed on crops that become our food. The soils are stripped of minerals. It's dead soil. Then a few years later, it was patented as an antibiotic. And we know what happens when we take an antibiotic, right? It's like spraying napalm on a forest. And that would be our gut microbiome. It kills everything. It's consumed daily when people are eating ultra processed foods because it is in those foods. So we have a solution. We have the solution to convenience. We have the solution to actual nutrients getting into our bodies in a convenient, simple way and affordable way. And we have the solution for removing this toxic chemical glyphosate from our bodies. And Melissa's going to come on now and she's going to explain the solution with our 12-week nutritional reset.
Hello, family. Thank you for letting me share. This program is so simple to follow. It's essentially 2 meal replacements per day, gut support, protein, power shake. You take that twice a day. Your shake is delicious. It's going to flood your body with superfood nutrition and help support collagen production. You have your gut support, which is the clinical solution for removing glyphosate. that huge, big problem that Sonia just mentioned. And then, of course, your protein that's going to help you build muscle and burn fat. This all works synergistically together. You take it twice a day. You're going to feel a night and day difference. Before bed, you're taking your sleep support that'll help you have really deep restorative sleep. And there's an extremely gentle parasite cleanse. So you can see how this all works together to help repair and nourish your gut. Also, there's alpha omegas included in your program. 90% of Americans are deficient in omegas. So we love this program. It's a game changer. And this is actually what gives you the business complimentary. And just look at these results in these pictures. It's unbelievable. We always recommend taking pictures and measurements before you start because stories are powerful. After you do this for about 12 weeks, it transitions to maintenance, which is so perfect because people want to have long-term results, and you'll experience that firsthand when you get going on this program.
And how affordable is it, Melissa?
This entire program, gut support, protein, power shake, sleep support, omegas, parasite cleanse, all of it, and a complimentary blender is less than $13 a day. You can't even go to Chipotle for one burrito for that price. Less than 13 bucks a day, covering 2 meals. So think of this as instead of Starbucks. It's not in addition to what you're already spending, it's transfer spending. Your second month is $30 less because there's no parasite cleanse. And then maintenance ends up being around $8 a day. So unbelievably so going to save you money on your groceries, hands down.
Thank you, Melissa. That was a great recap overview of that. And it's so true. I just saw, just a little sidebar, I just saw on the Financial Channel, the stock for PepsiCo has gone down because they raised the price of chips. A bag of potato chips, I think, is $6 now, and people are upset. And think about the things like Melissa mentioned, Starbucks, the things that people often eat that are costing a lot of money. They're getting expensive and devoid of any nutrition at all, and they're actually harmful to our health. So for $12.83 a day on the first month, and then it drops down from there, the value here is absolutely incredible for what it does. And you can see the results. Just these are just a few of the thousands of stories and testimonials that we have. So let's talk a little bit about who's behind the company. 2 owners. It's a small family-owned company, Dave Sandoval, Amy Venner. They have been in this world of superfood and organic nutrition since 1993. They were actually doing organic foods and superfoods before there was that USDA certified organic label. In fact, when the USDA was looking to make a label for organic and make standards for organic, Dave and Amy were a couple of the people that they actually consulted with on what these standards should be. So they are true pioneers in this space. Amy's amazing. She's our CEO. She is the co-founder with Dave and the co-owner. She's a mom of 2 beautiful teenage girls. She's an amazing leader, very heart-centered, and she learned early on that food really is the thing that can change how our bodies operate when we give the body what it needs through her own health journey. Dave Sandoval, he's our brilliant formulator, co-founder, and the other owner of the company. And he is just such a passionate person. Both of these people are so mission driven and so passionate about what they're doing. And they always say they want to help end human suffering where they can, starting with nutrition. So let's talk a little bit about the company and what makes us so different. First of all, Purium is the manufacturer of about, I would say, 98% of the products that we have. So if you pick up a package of one of our products, you look on the back, it's going to say manufactured by Purium, not manufactured for. Why is that important? Well, they have control of everything that happens with these products before they get to you. The sourcing of the ingredients, how they're tested. They test beyond what government regulations require. In-house, third-party testing. Every ingredient is identity tested, meaning when the ingredient comes in, they have multiple ways of testing to verify that is indeed the ingredient, which is really important because you want to know that what that label says is actually what you're getting and putting in your body. There are no binders, no fillers, nothing artificial, no added sugars. And Dave and Amy have a whole food philosophy. So everything comes from a whole food molecule. There are no synthetic isolates. Why? Because the whole food with its cofactors, the enzymes, the nutrients, the minerals, the fiber, that is what the body can actually recognize and assimilate and use rather than an isolate that's a synthetic or a part of a nutrient. And then last but not least, they get the ingredients from farms that use regenerative practices. That's super important. That means that these foods come from soil that is rich with minerals and nutrients. The food is only as good as the soil that it's grown in. So you could have organic, say you have an organic green shake, but it's probably made or grown in conventional farming, like tilling. But when you use regenerative farming practices, the soil is alive and it's rich with all these nutrients that we want. So here's another little fun fact about Purion being the manufacturer. Melissa and I and some others who are on here, we have actually toured the manufacturing facility several times. And it's always a treat to have Amy take us through and explain their rigorous processes and testing standards. One of the things that stood out to me, and I think stood out to everybody that was there, is that the ingredients come in and they're on a truck. Someone from inside the manufacturing facility will go out and inspect the inside of that truck. If there's a tiny bit of dirt, mold, a bug, the entire thing is rejected. Those ingredients, even though they're boxed up and sealed, they are not allowed inside the manufacturing facility. Same thing happens when the product goes out. The truck is inspected. If there's anything in there like that, the slightest little bit, that product that's coming to you, that's being shipped to your home, is not going to get on that truck. So those are just some of the lanes that they go to. Here's a picture of the manufacturing facility, and there we are at the Diamond Club. And that's a really cool trip that you can earn when you get to that rank of diamond in our company. And that's where you get to tour the facility, and everybody loves it. That's the highlight of the trip for everyone, is learning how these products are made and seeing the quality and the integrity that goes into making them. So just to summarize what makes us different, these products are so good for our bodies, from the best sources, regenerative practices, the farms that we get them from, proven glyphosate solution, like Melissa said, the Biomedic pulls the glyphosate out of the body, proven in a human study, nothing artificial, it's convenient and affordable, and again, the rigorous redundancies in testing. And if that weren't enough, the company, Dave and Amy, they decided several years ago to transition out of plastic packaging. So all but one product, which they're still working on, but other than that, all the other products are in biodegradable, compostable, plastic-free packaging made from plants. And there are no PFAS in this packaging. There's nothing detrimental in there. So by doing this, they have saved over 300,000 pounds of plastic from going into the environment, which equals about 14 million plastic water bottles. And if you've ever delved into the impact on plastics on the environment or watched a documentary, it is, I think there's one out right now called Plastic Detox, something like that. It is very alarming. But in addition to that, the average person now has a teaspoon of microplastics in their brain. People with dementia have 3 times that much. So Dave and Amy did this. It was not easy to do. It was not inexpensive to do, but they knew it was the right thing to do for our health as well as for the health of the planet. So why is now the ideal time to partner with Purium? Well, if you ever do a search on, let's say, for example, recession-proof business categories, health and food are always going to come up at the top of the list. And that's what Purium is. It's a perfect marriage of health and food. This is food. So anything like that is always going to thrive in any type of economy. More and more people are needing to bring more income into their household, but they don't necessarily want to trade more of their hours for dollars. They don't necessarily want to go get a second job or drive Uber or whatever it might be, but this is something they can do from home and they can leverage it. And we're going to talk about that. And there's the slide for the recession-proof business categories. So let's talk about trading time to creating time, going from trading hours for dollars to creating time with leverage. So I'm going to show you an illustration. So there we have Melissa. She's committed to putting in 10 hours a week in her Purion business. She's just come in as a brand partner, not really, but hypothetically. And she's putting in those 10 hours a week in addition to maybe a job, a full-time job that she's got. But she's like, I could carve out 10 hours a week to do this. Sounds really fun. I love health and wellness. But now she's enlisted 5 of her friends. And those 5 friends have also said, hey, I could do 10 hours a week. That's nothing. That's a couple hours a day to build another income stream. Now she's harnessed the hours of effort and she's still only putting in 10 hours of effort. That's leverage. And that's what most people don't have. They're trading their time for money and there are only so many hours in a day. So let's bust a myth here. We're going to get into some exciting success stories. You're going to hear from some people now from many different walks of life. The first myth that we're going to bust is in a network marketing opportunity, you have to get in at the beginning to succeed. You got to get in on the ground floor. That is so not true. First of all, this company's been around over 20 years. That's good. You want a company that's been around, that has a track record of success and stability. Startup can be very risky. You can invest a lot of time, and then all of a sudden it just fizzles or implodes. And time is our most precious commodity. So you want to make sure what you're investing your time in. So you have to get in at the beginning? No. So we're going to bring on my friend Sandra, and she's already had success. She just joined and less than a month ago. She just joined last month, and she's a massage therapist. Welcome, Sandra. Great to have you here with us tonight, and congratulations.
Thank you for having me on tonight. I am a massage therapist and trading time for money and wearing myself out. So when I came across Purium, I learned about how pure and how premium these products are. They're food, there's something that can sustain my busy life on, and just recognized the opportunity, wanted to jump right on board, had that confidence level, and just started sharing, and have already made bonuses that surpass like doing 5 or 6 massages. So that's so encouraging to me. I want to retire myself with Purium, and I'm so excited to be a part of this team. I couldn't have done it without this teamwork, and I'm just so grateful for having a great team that if you plug in and you continue to learn, take the products, it won't be long before you're going to know that health is wealth and we can end human suffering. I love that. Thank you all.
Thank you so much, Sandra. Sandra's made in less than 2 weeks, she made $500 in bonuses. That's why it says Fast Start Director there, in addition to her commissions. And she really loves helping people. That's why she got into massage in the first place. And now she's found another way to monetize that passion of helping people. So Sandra, we're so happy to have you. And again, congratulations on your success. And that's just the beginning. All right, now we have someone else. She joined in 2018, not when the company started, well after that. And that's my dear friend, Melissa, who is a 5-star crown in our company, and also came from the world of massage therapy.
Yes, so grateful Sonia shared this opportunity with me. It has been a game changer in so many ways. I understand what Sandra's going through. Being a massage therapist is so rewarding. We love helping people, but it's very physically demanding. And of course, most people want deep tissue massage. So it's so physically demanding. Most of my clients want an evening massages. So I never got to see Justin. He worked all day. I worked most nights. We were like 2 ships passing. And it wasn't until Sonia introduced me to this that I had the flexibility and freedom to work wherever I wanted, whenever I wanted, ideally on this couch with my latte, right? And have evenings off. It's been the best. It allowed me to retire my husband about a year and a half in. It allowed me to retire from massage therapy, obviously, and it's just been a dream. Also, about a year and a half in, I got some really scary news that my mom had very aggressive, fast-moving cancer. And because of this business, it allowed me to get a ticket the next day, not looking at the price, it didn't matter, and be by her side to go through those scary appointments. And I actually got to be by her side the last 3 years of her life and spend quality time doing what you want to do with your best friend, making that time count, going to the beach, watching movies, just spending time with my best friend. And I'm so grateful that this business provided that, because I would not have had that freedom or flexibility or financial opportunity to do that if it weren't for Purium. That's something that money really can't buy. And more friends of mine seem to be going through a scenario where they end up being the caretaker of a loved one. So this is the gift that keeps on giving. The only regret you will have is that you didn't start it sooner, and hold on to the hand of whoever invited you to this. They'll help you every step of the way, and it's such a dream business. Thank you, Sonia, for sharing it with me. I just love it.
Thank you so much, Melissa. And you've helped so many people and paid it forward. So thank you for sharing your story. All right, we're going to bust another myth. You might be thinking, well, Sandra and Melissa, they're in health and wellness. They're massage therapists. Of course, this was easy for them. But no, you do not have to be a health professional to be successful at this. So we're going to share some more stories with you from some of our other brand partners. And next we have Donald, who also is new. He just came in May of this year. He's also a Fast Start Director, picked up some bonuses right off the bat. Welcome, Donald. We're so happy to have you here.
Hello, everybody. I am just pulling over real quick. I'm so glad to be here. I have to tell you, so I've been super concerned with any food that I've bought in the grocery store for about 10 years. It was the beginning of this year that I decided I was going to start taking better care of myself and working out. And it actually started with a $50 bet with my 13-year-old kid that I couldn't get a full 6-pack of abs by the end of June, which I just paid for, but because I didn't get there quite yet. But it actually started with me working out, and thank you to my trainer and friend, Tammy Hupel, that actually she introduced me to the documentary Common Ground. And it wasn't an eye-opener. It was securing the thought that I already had that there was so much bad things in all the food that we buy at the grocery store. And when I started this program, within a week, there was noticeable changes in just my recovery from working out, and we started preaching it from the rooftop then and there, and came on as a brand partner knowing that figured, well, I can start making a little bit of money because I'm going to share this anyway. Because I've told people I could win the lottery tomorrow and I would still tell everybody about this because I fully believe that everybody needs this nutrition in their life. So, but it's gotten me out of this mode of being scared of rejection. I use this thought of everybody having their own halo. So I literally will talk to everyone that I come in contact with because they may know somebody that knows somebody that knows somebody, and everybody has their own group of influence. But within a few short weeks, I made some bonus money, and that really wasn't my goal. But even though I'm using this to help myself financially, could be not making anything, and I'd still share this program. So
That's awesome. Thank you so much, Donald. That is a true sign of something that is super valuable is when you're wanting to share it, even when you're not getting compensated for it, but you did get compensated for it and you made some pretty sweet bonuses. So congrats, Donald, and thank you for sharing that. And now we have Kiki is a executive. She hit fast start, also scooped up lots of bonuses. Welcome, Kiki. Also started this year.
Sorry about that.
Okay, there you go.
Yes, I did start this year. I started actually about 3 or 4 months ago. And my first month, my goodness, was on fire and still on fire. But I triple ranked and made over like $1,500 in bonuses. The starting point for me was my brother. He introduced it to me almost a year ago, and I just was not interested. I'm like, I'm not trying to sell nothing. And after a while, he invited me to one of the events, and it wasn't until I had a health scare that I said, well, not only do I need to do this, but I need to enjoy this if this is really going to work. So I took my time. I took about a month before I got into the company, and it felt good to me to experience the changes that it was doing to my body. Within 3 days, had energy that I didn't have before. I was struggling with chronic fatigue. So with all that being said, I just knew that I have something now I can stand behind because I had a personal experience with the owner of the company. Just, it was beautiful. Just the heart of both Amy and Dave, and meeting them and seeing the integrity and the love they have for this family-owned company, it resonated with. So I've been a part of a lot of network marketing businesses, but nothing like this. And it was amazing. And it's still amazing. They blow my mind every time with their target audience and making sure that not only is this in every household, but just making sure that mission is being heard worldwide. And I am so glad to be a part of that because it's worth it. It's worth it when you can see yourself, your body, your family change because now my whole family is on the product. And it's a beautiful thing and a beautiful experience.
Thank you, Kiki. So happy for you and your family. Congratulations. Love your passion. All right. So speaking of wasn't a health professional when they got into this, there's me. That's me there. So no, I was not a health professional. I was in real estate. I was in real estate for 20 years full time in the grind, totally grinding it out every day, working about 60 to 70 hours a week. My husband and I were at a point where we were just like, we've got to do something because we were working all these hours. And then I was also caregiving for my mom. And she lived with us the last 2 years of her life and had health challenges. And we just weren't taking care of ourselves. Our self-care was on the back burner. And we realized that it was not sustainable. Waking up exhausted wasn't sustainable. Now, I had a great income in real estate, and my husband was doing the investment sides. We had a good income. We were doing this for our health. And we got on the program together, and it literally was life changing. And what happens when you have an incredible experience, like Donald was saying, you tell everybody. And that's what we did. And then I quickly realized, oh, wait a minute, there's an opportunity here. And I'm telling people about this anyway. Why not? So I upgraded myself to be a brand partner. And within just a couple months, the direct deposit that came in from Purium was equal to the rent from one of our rental properties, because there was no shortage of people wanting to get on the products and wanting to feel better. They had similar results to us because these products, they work and they work quickly, and they wanted to tell all their friends about it. So this thing snowballed quickly. And within a year and a half, it matched my full-time real estate income. I eventually transitioned completely out of real estate because I didn't feel like doing it anymore. And this was way too much more fun. Helping people, helping other people succeed in this business was just so gratifying and continues to be. And Doug and I have an organization of over 86,000 people now. We just love how getting other brand partners on board, we get lots of customers, but also getting other brand partners on board can really create this huge ripple effect of health, because we didn't do it by ourselves. It was locking arms with other like-minded people who love helping people as well. And that's been the real beauty of it. And it's also given us true financial freedom because we actually have the time and the mobility, the location independence to enjoy our income, which I didn't have before in real estate. So let's talk, how do you make money in Purium? It's super easy. We have a great compensation plan. It's the type of plan, it's called Unilevel. It's one of the best type of compensation plans in network marketing. There's no gotchas in it. You can earn your money back on your first pack easily, or almost make it all back, pretty close to that, in your first 10 days. Get 2 customers and a brand partner on the reset on the 12-week ultimate lifestyle transformation, and you've earned $350 doing that. Your first pack is $384.95. So you can quickly do that in your first 10 days. But we have more fast start bonuses. That's just the very beginning. You can get 20% commission on customer sales, a fast start bonus program that includes that first bonus, but many more, up to $6,500. When you get brand partners on board and they hit those bonuses, you make matching bonuses. So when you help others win, mentorship bonuses. And then when you get into certain ranks, then you start making recurring bonuses, lifestyle bonuses, up to $10,000 a month, as well as profit sharing. And you get residual income on customer sales as well as team sales. We have a very detailed compensation plan. So if you'd like to take a look at it, you can get with the person who invited you to this call, and they can send the entire compensation plan to you, and you can ask them questions. There's mentorship and support. There's no shortage of support here because you're in business for yourself, but not by yourself. Sandra mentioned the team aspect, the support that she's gotten. She's brand new. She's only been in about 2 weeks. So you can see some of our team members here and the fun that we have. So how do you get started? Get your own lifestyle transformation, get your 12-week reset. As Melissa mentioned, your business is free when you do that. And that's all you have to do. Get the program yourself. And then you can either come in as a customer, you can come in as a brand partner, whichever path you want, we're here to help you. And you can just get back to the person who invited you to this call, discuss with them where you want to go, and they can help get you started. They can also answer any questions that maybe we didn't cover tonight. So we're so happy that you were here with us tonight. We really appreciate you being here and spending time with us. Thank you to our speakers. Great job, everybody, sharing your success stories. And we hope to see all of you as part of our Purium family in the very near future. Thanks again for joining us.